what a lovely sunny day it is here today. My name's Michelle and this is my Woolly Wumpkins channel. Welcome to the 5th episode of our 3D Mitred Granny Square crochet along. How have you been doing? I've seen some lovely photographs. People's projects are really starting to take shape now. Thank you for sharing them with me, and if anyone new is watching, I'd love to see what you're planning to do and how it works out. So today we're going to be using our navy yarn, but yesterday we had our baby blue section. So here's what it would look like if you'd managed to complete all 12 squares. There we go. So you can see this project is really starting to grow, can't you? But today we're going to move on to the navy. Now there's a few more rows of the navy, so I'm going to, as I have been doing, I'm going to just crochet along with you for the first section of the mitre, and then we'll leave it to you. So let's turn this camera around and we'll show you. So let's take our square and we're going to start on this edge here. I always try to start with, when you look at the square there, the original square, with the right side facing. So this is the wrong side, it'll have the start tail of yarn hanging from it. This is the right side. So we can always start in the top right hand corner. So we've got our 3 chains there. Going to pop our needle in the hole between the 3 chains and the treble, and we're going to get our blue yarn. Now mine is a little bit, I'm just going to zoom in a little here. My yarn is a little bit thinner. Why isn't that focusing? You'll hear me say that a lot. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. So it's a bit thinner. If I put it on my thumb, you can see. It's a bit thinner than the other yarns, but it doesn't matter in my blanket because it's going to be more of a shawly wrap for a baby than a blanket on a bed. Okay, so we're going to pick up our yarn as we have been doing, put it through the hole, work our 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to finish up with another 2 trebles in that same hole to make our first treble cluster. So because this yarn is so thin, I'd keep it on for the next treble and then leave it off. There we go. There we are. So, and now our 3rd. So there's this blanket distracting from this dark blue because it is a dark colour. Just remind the camera now where it's supposed to be looking. There we go. So we'll work our 3rd treble. And as ever, dark colours are best worked in daylight. Not so much when you're sitting around in the evening, perhaps having a glass of wine. You won't see if you've dropped a stitch. Okay, so we're going to continue working our trebles now across here to the corner and then across here to the edge. Keeping to the 2 sides. It's exactly the same as the tan mitre and the baby blue mitre. We're using the same principle. Oh, before I move on, I'll finish this treble and show you. There we go. That we're keeping the pattern here. Treble, single, treble, single, treble, single, treble. Okay? That's going to give a really nice finish in the final garment. Okay, so let's crack on with this. Are your arms starting to ache or your knuckles or your wrists? If so, just try to consciously relax your muscles in your hands and your arms, because we don't want this to be causing you pain. You're not going to want to finish the whole blanket. Now I have sorry, I just got distracted then. Some sort of bird flying past. I have days where my joints are so swollen and painful that I literally cannot move them. But with crochet and with knitting, if you're gentle enough, you can work them. You can continue to work with your projects and actually be doing your joints a little bit of good by keeping their range of motion fluid. I appreciate there are some who can't do that when they have their flare-ups, but I'm still at the stage where knitting and crochet helps me when I'm in a lot of pain. Right, we're at our corner, so I'm going to do my 2 chains to turn. There we go, back into the same hole, but we've turned our corner. I usually use an ergonomic crochet hook, but I've left it at my daughter's, who lives about 4 hours away. So although I'm going to be travelling there this week, I needed to get this filmed before I go there so that I can do the crochet along when I'm actually there. So I've got this Addy hook instead. Right, I've caught what I've done there. Look, can you see what I've done there? I've picked up that strand of yarn. I don't want to do that from the tan section. Let's get that back down there. There we go. That's better. Here we are. The end of this row is in sight. If I'm trebling too fast for you, I do have a little video that shows you how to work a treble stitch, and you can speed it up or slow it down as much as you'd like. So I'll just share with you now the link. I'll pop the link actually in the description should you need to have a look at that video. Here we are, we're coming up to the end, and we're going to put our final treble cluster in the gap between our treble cluster there and our single treble there. There we go. There we are. So we're going to do 3 chains, 2, 3, turn, and then we're going to be working trebles, trebles, trebles like this. But you don't want to watch me now do that. You're well into your own blanket. What I will do is remind you how many rows of this colour that we need. We're going to need, let's use my hook so that you can see it. You're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the dark navy blue. And when you've completed your 5 rows of your dark navy blue, this is what it's going to look like. Here we go. So it's very hard to pick up because of how dark the colour is. There we go. Let's go back down a little there. So if I hold that there, you can see we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the navy. Now we just have to do that on all 11 of our other squares, and then we can move on to this big band of blue. Now, I have mentioned before that I'm going to be using a different colour to this blue because I'm making it for 2 grandsons. I want them to be able to tell whose is whose. So I'm going to be using this turquoise, which we use here on this blanket, but it'll be here as well as here on my sample that I'll be showing you tomorrow. So get crocheting. Please comment below if you need any help, or if you want to share any of the lovely things that you've been making, any of the lovely colourways that you've been using, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goodbye.